Welcome to chapter 60 of Memoirs of a White Guy. That is the gender that has a big old cock and balls between its legs. Well, in this case, it is the gender that has a small to medium with a respectable girth cock and balls between its legs. I don't know why you'd want girthy balls, I just realized. So actually, you know what, that intro this week, that was a bit too manpower, wasn't it? That was a bit too masculine, a bit too... So for all the ladies out there, I'll start that again. Sorry, that was too male dominant, that intro. I like to make it gender neutral, my intros, even though the podcast is called Memoirs of a White Guy. It's for all genders, alright? It's for the non-binary, it's for everyone, it's equality. Anyway, I'm going to start the podcast again, so just bear with... Welcome to chapter 60 of Memoirs of a White Inferior Gender. That is it. Go female, because females are the superior gender. So now the ladies feel included. Equality. Oh, well, that's not equality, actually. That's now reversed in the opposite way. So maybe I should start the podcast again. So, because that's... Now females are dominant. Now the males are feeling left out. Alright, okay, I've got it. Welcome to chapter 60 of Memoirs of a White Genderless Unicorn. There we go. Now no one's offended. Oh no, what about if all the black genderless unicorns are listening and they're offended? I mean, they've probably been eating unicorn chicken all day, so they probably like just want to sit down and, you know, not be racially profiled kind of thing. So, alright, I'll do another one. Welcome to chapter 50 of Memoirs of fucking nothing, because you're not allowed to be anything anymore. You can't be a white guy, can't be a white girl, can't be a genderless unicorn. Well, you can be a genderless unicorn, but not if you're a white genderless unicorn, because that leaves out all the other genderless unicorns. The point I'm trying to make is, I don't really have a point, to be honest. I don't really have an agenda in this podcast. I'm just fucking with people. So, really, my agenda is wasting people's time, and I think I've successfully done that. So, you guys are listening to this on the Tuesday. Today is Sunday for me, because I am going away tomorrow. I booked me and Emily for her 21st birthday. I got her a little helicopter flight over Geelong way, which would be really cool. Look at me, balling with my Triple M mod, and honestly, I spent my whole paycheck on that. But yeah, we're going away for a couple of days on Monday, Tuesday, so I'm like, you know what? I'm still doing a podcast this week, so I came into the radio studio on a Sunday. There is no one here. Well, there's a few people here. Everyone's just confused why I'm here. They're like, aren't you that guy who doesn't really have a job here anyway, yet you're here on a Sunday? Yes, I am. I'm working hard, alright? I'm hustling. I'm wasting people's time on the weekend, during the week. There is not one day that I will not waste someone's time. Now, what do I want to talk about this week for you all? Okay, first of all, I got so many updates from last week's podcast. Last week, you might remember, I received the worst Snapchat in the world, okay? I received a Snapchat of a guy. I don't want to talk about it again, to be honest, but I have to because I did a bad thing during the week, if you didn't see already on Snapchat. What happened last week was I received a Snapchat from a young gentleman who was eating... Oh, okay, I just gotta put the words out and just say it, and then, okay. He was eating Twisties with milk. So, Twistie cereal. Twisties are like cheese puffs, orange, powdery, makes the milk just... It was one of the grossest things I've ever seen. Like, what would I rather do? I would rather watch Pauline Hanson giving birth to a Muslim than... Actually, that would be awesome. Who am I seeing? That would be sick. She'd try and, like, pop it back. She was Pauline Hanson trying to give birth to a Muslim. She'd as soon as she realized it was Muslim, like, it would come out, it'd be like, yeah, I like that. And she'd hear it, and then she'd try and, like, just, like, close her vagina shut, just like, no, we're fucking full. Just trying to squeeze it back in, like, holding in a shit. But, it's not a shit, it's a beautiful person, because Muslims are great people. Now, what was I even saying? Okay, yeah. It was gross. Okay, what's grosser than... just Pauline Hanson giving birth to a young Tony Abbott. Okay, it was grosser than that. That's what... And, dude, imagine watching that birth video. Like, oh, man. That would, I don't know how, I'm sorry to put that image in your head, everyone. If you want to turn off the podcast now, hey, that's fair enough. I don't blame you. So the point is, Twisties and cereal, that's gross. That's one of the most disgusting things you can eat. And I was talking about it with a few friends during the week, and I was like, man, can you even get any grosser than that? Like, can you get grosser than Twisties and milk? Like, we were thinking anything with milk is pretty gross. Like, the worst one we could come up with was jelly and milk. Jelly and milk would just be awful because the milk would slide off the jelly really easily, but there would just be a tiny bit of milk residue left on the jelly. That's just wrong. Like, it's sugary and it'd be chunky. No, that would be nasty. Green jelly is especially. Green jelly and milk. Oh, and the only thing I could think of grosser than that was just like things that aren't even foods, like crayons and milk, or Play-Doh and milk, or something like that. Like where you like melted a crayon into milk, and then you're like, "Oh, have a sippy, mate," or something like that. And all during the week, by the way, I specifically asked people. I was like, "Hey, don't you dare send me you eating Twisties and milk. I'll block you immediately, right?" So what did I get during the week? Thank God no one eating Twisties and milk, but you guys just went above and beyond. Some dude sent me a Snapchat of him putting bread underneath the tap and then putting it on the table and just squidging it. And it just sounded like just the grossest noise. It was like he was fingering this bread on his bench. And I was just like, that's almost as bad as Twisties and milk. Have some respect for yourself. He didn't get blocked though. I don't know. I should have probably blocked him in hindsight. That's pretty rank. But yeah, I started receiving just gross shit all week. Like people eating dry Wheat Bix like animals. Just like, what's wrong with you? Like there's a reason they're cereal. They're not just like a biscuit. Well, they are a biscuit, I guess. It's a Bix. It's not a biscuit. I found out this week, I was looking for a prop for a video in the top cupboard of our house that like no one ever goes in, right? I was looking for shot glasses just for a video because that's like where everyone keeps their shot glasses, in like the top. Well, at least our family doesn't drink much, so it's like that's where they're kept, in the top cupboard. And I was looking through the top cupboard and I just opened it straight away and there was a full pack of Wheat Bix in the top cupboard that no one ever uses. And I was like to Dad, I was like, what's up? Who put these Wheat Bix here? Did you accidentally put these Wheat Bix in this cupboard? And he's like, oh no. He was like, those are the backup Bix. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, those are the reserve Bix. So I was like, we don't have what do you mean backup Bix? Like, I'm so Australian, guys, that I have emergency Wheat Bix in my house. Like, one morning I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna go to the pantry and I'm gonna get my milk out, get my bowl, and be like, oh shit, sound the alarm, we need the emergency Bix. The only person in Australia who would have emergency Bix is Brett Lee. And he has to, because what about if someone's like, hey man, you need to be an ambassador of the greatest Australian product of all time right now. And then Brett Lee's like, oh shit, I don't have any Bix. Hang on, I'll just go to the top cupboard and get my backup Bix. And then he just sounds the emergency Bix alarm and it just goes whoop, 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 and a kangaroo bounces by and like gives you the thumbs up, and then you just like eat your emergency Bix. And if you like, I don't know what I'm talking about now. Anyway, I need to be telling you guys about the cereal milk thing. The point is, I found out this week that we had emergency Wheat Bix in our house. Like, I've never felt so proud to be Australian in my entire life. It was great. Anyway, so this cereal, yeah, people started sending me gross shit all week, like eating dry Wheat Bix and stuff, and I was just like, guys, can you not? And then all these people were like, hey man, you've been shitting on this milk and Twisties thing a lot, how about you give it a go yourself? And I was like, no, I'm not an animal, like, I'm not disgusting, alright, I've got standards, I'm a happy guy, got a girlfriend, have a stable life, I'm white, that also makes my life pretty good. And I was like, I definitely don't need to add cereal and Wheat Bix to my situation, because I'm going well at the moment. I don't need it. But you know, people kept on pestering me, and I was like, you know what? Fine, because I'm my own person and I don't bow into peer pressure. I was like, yeah, fine. I'm gonna try these cereal Twisties, Twistie cereal, right? So I had to go to the supermarket just to buy Twisties, and I didn't go to the cereal section because it's not a cereal. I went to the snacks and sweets section of the supermarket, and the milk is miles away in the supermarket, right? So you have to walk around. So I went and got all the stuff. Okay, I had milk at home. That was a lie. What family doesn't have milk? Okay, like what family has emergency Bix but no milk? Okay, we're not idiots, all right? We got milk. So bought Twisties, and I did it actually for a video. You'll probably see me do it in a video. Anyway, it's a long story. So I also did it on Snapchat. I was gonna like record the audio and stuff, and I have the audio, but it's honestly not very interesting. I just didn't say anything. You just hear me chewing, and then me going, and then I'm just me begging my girlfriend who's filming it, going, "Wait, do I have to swallow it? Do I have to swallow it?" And then yeah, so I had Twisties and milk, and it. I honestly don't even know what to say. I'm still trying to process it. It wasn't... Okay, it was awful. Like, don't get me wrong. It was completely disgusting, and I would never do it again. But it was not as bad as I thought it would be. Only because I thought I'd actually vomit in the bowl. You know, okay, this is the only way I could describe it to Emily. Imagine eating Twisties, and then you in a cereal bowl with milk. Like there's no other comparison, because it just tastes like a wet Twistie. Like if you had a blindfolded me, I'd be like, is this a wet Twistie? And then I'd be like, did you put milk on it? What the fuck is wrong with you? And then that's exactly what it tasted like. So I mean, do it for yourself. You know how like you dip Oreos in milk? Like it was like that, but with a Twistie. And again, that's not a good explanation. Once again, I think I'm the worst at describing things. Anyway, I had it. So for the guy who sent it to me, shame on you. That was your fault that this even started. I knew I shouldn't have talked about it on the podcast, because people just overreact. I wanted to rant about this thing that made me angry, and then people are like, oh, do it yourself. And because I'm like, yeah, all right, fuck you, I'll do it. You know, so I did it because I'm a child. So if you guys could stop forcing me to do shit, that'd be great. Speaking of things that I was forced to do this week. Again, no one actually forced me. People were just like, you should do this. And I was like, yeah, like, you wouldn't do it. And I was like, yeah, I fucking would. I would watch a full episode of My Little Pony. So if you didn't hear this last week, this is the second update. I was attacked. I was bullied. I was genuinely harassed. Okay, that's a bit far. I was just bullied. Let's keep it bullied. I was bullied by a bunch of My Little Pony fans, which are called bronies. Right? So I was bullied by a few bronies during the week, where 2 weeks ago on the podcast, I was Googling L&P, the New Zealand soft drink, and as I was punching that into Google, I accidentally typed MLP and hit enter, and all this My Little Pony stuff came up. And straight away, I just started trashing this show, right? As you do as a grown male, you see a kid's show with fairy ponies, and you're just like, hey, fuck this. I'm going to make fun of this for 5 minutes. I mean, what do you... I don't know what people expect in this podcast. It's me talking to myself. It's me talking to you, the person who's listening to this, but it's also like, really, a schizophrenic conversation of me and my thoughts, right? So I don't know what you expect. And if I think, oh, this show sucks that I'm looking at right now, I'm just going to say it for 5 minutes straight. So that's exactly what I did. And then during that week, all these people who... I didn't realize how many people watch this show, but all these people who apparently watch My Little Pony, and not kids, by the way, not like 8-year-olds hit me up. No 10-year-old girls message me. Absolutely not. No, it was all like between 20 and 40-year-old dudes who just messaged me like, bro, I saw you talking shit about My Little Pony, man. Give it, like, they were full on abusing me, like, bro, it's fucking unfair what you said, you know, it was fucking funny, you think you're funny as a comedian, and they called me a normie, like, oh, you're a normie for shitting on My Little Pony. It's like, no, I'm not a normie for shitting on My Little Pony, I'm a normie because I own a Subway loyalty card. Like, if you're gonna have a go at anything, there's 1,001 other things, alright? Like, just before I recorded this podcast, I went to Subway, got my usual order of chicken fillet, lettuce, cheddar cheese, tomato, and mayonnaise. That's all I get on my sub, right? And then I was like, hey, just 12-inch white bread, obviously, because it's me. And they're like, oh, we're out of white bread. And I just cracked the shits. I was like, oh, give me some Hummel then. And I sucked about it the whole time I was eating it. I was just like, this is shit. It's not my usual order. Okay, that's why I'm a normie. I'm not a normie because I shit on your kid's TV show, okay? That's just called being a human being, alright, with a good taste in shows, right? So what happened was, all these bronies, these My Little Pony fans, just started ganging up on me and actually abusing me, like swearing at me and like, bro, this show's about fucking friendship and good values. And I was like, oh yeah? We clearly didn't take anything away from that show, did you? Because you're being a complete asshole and I feel victimized by this minority fan group. Alright, so I did my research during the week. I was like, I'm going to fuck them up, man. I'm going to do that shit. And last week I was talking about it, and they have all these conferences. There's like a My Little Pony convention, My Little Pony Con or some shit. I don't know what it's called. And they just all dress up like fairies and with bloody manes. And anyway, so I was like, fine. I was mad, right? I was really angry at all these guys who dress up as unicorns. And I don't know why I felt like usually if a guy in the street dressed as a unicorn was like, you suck, I'd be like, you're the one, you're dressed as a unicorn. I wouldn't even take that as an insult. I'd just be like, wow, that dude needs a friend. And I'd probably be really nice to him. But I don't know why. For some reason, I just got really offended. But then as I was about to lose all hope in this fan base. I was about to come down hard on all you bronies until one reasonable brony sent me a message and was like, hey man, heard what you said about My Little Pony. Just wanted to say, you know, everyone has an opinion. That's cool. Just wanted to say I'm a big fan of the show. He then showed me all his merch and toys and stuff from the show on his, Snapchat. And he's like, I'm a pretty big fan. I just want to say, like, maybe you should give it a go. Maybe just give it a chance. He goes, you don't have to like it. Just give it a chance, and you might see what other people see in it. And I was like, hey, you know what? This is the first guy who's been reasonable about this. So I was like, yeah, I will watch an episode of My Little Pony during the week. And ladies and gentlemen, just before I started this podcast, actually before I went to Subway, I had to have a food break in between because I was all ponied out. I did watch the first ever episode of My Little Pony. It's called Friendship is Magic. So what I've done is I've compiled a little audio snippet of me watching the show. It goes for about 5 minutes, I think. And obviously, because I watched the whole episode, which goes for 20 minutes, I didn't record I recorded myself watching the whole thing, but I wasn't just going to put that in the podcast, right? Because it gets boring. So I pretty much just cut between with a little whoosh you'll hear of me just talking about the show. So this is me earlier watching My Little Pony. Okay, so the time has come. I'm about to watch the first episode of My Little Pony. And it's times like this where I just wonder, like, what would have happened if I had have stayed in university? Maybe I should have stuck it out. Was it the best decision in pursuing this as a career? Because, really, I mean, what I'm about to watch is My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, Episode 1. And I've actually got linked by Brony during the week a website to watch it all. It's called watchcartoon.com. So, alright, I'm going to click play and let's do it. And obviously I'm not going to record myself doing the whole episode. I'm just going to cut together whenever I say something mildly interesting, because I just want to watch it in my own time, okay? I might really enjoy it. This might be the worst shit ever. You guys are probably expecting me to shit on it, and it's just going to be me fucking frothing this show. So, alright, so it starts off, click play now.
Once upon a time, in the magical land of Equestria.
Oh, this shit's like Shrek already.
There were two regal sisters who ruled together and created...
This is bullshit. This is the start of Shrek. It opens up a leather book and starts doing a backstory of like a fairy tale. This is the same shit. Are you serious? I'm watching a cartoon pony version of Shrek. I mean, that's actually pretty decent. But still, I'll show you the first scene of Shrek. That's exactly the same. Now, look, I've already quit it. The Shrek 1... This is like Jackson O'Doherty level plagiarism. Just like right at the start. Wait, so... Okay, Shrek was in 2001, and My Little Pony, just get up now, in 2010! So they just copied it. They've clearly seen Shrek, which is a banging opening sequence, where he talks about love's first kiss, and he gives a backstory of the dragon and the princess, and then All-Star starts. It's amazing.
Like that's ever gonna happen.
He can't copy this shit. Yeah, dude, I swear to God, if I turn back to My Little Pony and All-Star starts playing, I actually won't flip my shit. That'd be like way better than I was expecting. Alright, I'm back to My Little Pony.
But shunned and slept through her beautiful night.
What the fuck am I doing with my life? Wait, so are they unicorns or ponies?
Using the magic of the elements of harmony, she defeated her younger sister.
Wait, this is actually sick. They're literally flying through the sky in like a sleigh, but it's like a horse and cart. Why are they running through the sky? They're not even flying. There's a horse running through the sky. That doesn't make sense. I don't care how magic you are, fly. You can't gallop through the wind. It looks like they're flying on a golden snitch.
My name is Twilight Sparkle.
What the hell? This is the most intense handshake of all time. There is a pony. What you're listening to when the fiddle comes in is an orange pony jacking off a purple pony's hand. Like, just full on the most intense handshake. Holy shit, it's still going. They still haven't stopped handshaking. Oh my god, they still haven't stopped. Oh, it just stopped. Dude, this is why people jack off to this shit.
Fine.
Woohoo! Alrighty. You go, girl. Wait, is it a girl? I don't know. Who gives a shit? It's a fucking pony. What the hell? Alright, so what just happened? A pony just made a cloud appear right above someone who was muddy, and then jumped on top of the cloud and bounced on it like a trampoline until the cloud rained. That's not how precipitation works! Fuck, man, this show isn't scientifically accurate. Then again, I've never seen a rainbow pony, so, you know, I don't think they were going for scientific accuracy. I hope not, anyway. They'd be failing at the rainbow unicorn. Oh, sick. Montage of a pony kicking clouds. That was actually pretty sick. So what just happened was there was a pony who I think is a boy. I got boy vibes from, but he starts frothing a girl pony, but they kind of look the same because one's white and one's pink. And it's just like, is there such thing as gender in this thing? Are they all just non-binary ponies? I'm confused. Oh, that guy's a dragon. I thought he was a fucked up looking horse. He's a dragon. Oh, that makes sense. I was like, man, he's got way too many unicorn spikes. I was thinking this guy's unicorn spike goes all down his back. See, this is another copy from Shrek. Oh, they got a dragon. What else? We just need a donkey voiced by Eddie Murphy, and this is a carbon copy of Shrek. Twilight, you're so boring, man. I hope someone gives Twilight a wedgie at the party. She's a fucking nerd. Was I the only one who didn't care then? That big announcement? She's gone. Yeah, no shit. She hated it. She's supposed to be an evil pony because she's the only one that's not pink. Dab on him, Twilight. Dab on it. Yeah. She hit it. She hit the dab. Well, not really, but she should have.
You're here
To dab. Dab on him. Oh, she should have dabbed. They could have ended this episode 1 with a dab, and now this goes on for 7 seasons because she didn't dab. It's your own fault, Twilight. To be continued. There is no way in fucking hell I'm watching the next episode. Oh, okay. It just finished. This is a banger. The song's back. This song's sick. Yeah, the only good thing about the show is the soundtrack. Honey, oh man, someone just walked past the studio door and just witnessed me dancing to the My Little Pony theme song. Awesome. I'm gonna have to quit now. Shit. Alright, well that was the episode, my first ever My Little Pony experience. I'm gonna cut back to Luke in the podcast to reflect on it. Back to you, Luke. Thanks, past Luke. Now, yes, as you heard, I definitely went in and out of being like, this show's the shit, to being like, this show is shit. Like, I just went back and forth the entire time. Because on one thing, I was like, ooh, colours, that's cool. Ooh, a guy jumping on a cloud as a trampoline. Haven't seen that before. Actually, not a guy, a pony. So even more weird. So, I like weird shit. So I was like, okay, this is, for bits, I got the appeal. But honestly, just like the whole plot of the episode was literally just this one pony called like Twilight. I've already forgotten the name. Twilight something. And and then she was like trying to organize this party, and then at the end, this evil pony came in who was black, because, I don't know, that was the only way to tell apart a good pony from an evil pony. And then it's like, to be continued, and I was like, that was the whole thing. And like, as a plot, you know what I mean, it's like porn. You don't watch it for the plot, I guess. You watch it for the colors and, you know, the acting. And you know what, most guys watch this show to jack off to, so it's exactly like porn. But yeah, like, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm like fully ashamed, by the way, that I just watched an episode of that. Like, there's no way I'm really bragging about this one. I'm not gonna tell my close friends. I mean, yes, I put it up on my Instagram and Snapchat story, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna post about it publicly on my wall. So that's the level of shame that I'm at right now with My Little Pony. But to all the bronies out there, you know what? First of all, just a message to the reasonable brony. Thank you, man. Thank you for thank you for making me watching it, but I'm glad now I have a new perspective of your big interest. And he also sent me a snap earlier today that he was going to a private cinema screening of the My Little Pony film, because apparently there's a new animated film in the cinemas, the My Little Pony movie. He went to a private screening, and he was like, hey man, you should have come. And I was like, no, thank you for the invite. No, I shouldn't have come, because I'll tell you why. When you look at my driver's license, it says that I am not a child. Believe it or not, I mean, I know I do a lot of pretty childish. Actually, you know what? I mean, this is one of the most adult things I've ever done, is hate this show. But yeah, it's a kid's show. The point I'm trying to make is, I've really tried to be fair, and I'm going to give an honest opinion of what I think of this show. It's just a kid's show. There's lots of colors. There's ponies like doing shit and with like pony things, and they fly through. Well, they gallop through the air, which pissed me off. And there was that really long handshake. And then the whole time, the biggest revelation, as you heard, I didn't realize that the second main character in this episode was a dragon till 15 minutes in. They're like, oh, it's a dragon, and I was like, oh, could have said that shit from the start. I thought he was like a fucked up looking pony. I don't know that shit. I mean, they all look the same to me. It's just colourful animals and shit running around. I sound like an old person talking about, oh, these young kids, they watch their pony shows, and I don't know. They just, back in our day, you know, we used to watch the ABC. We had 2 channels, and that was all you got. But, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about now. The point is, I watched the episode. Thank you for all the people who have supported me on this journey. Unfortunately, you know what? Not unfortunately. Fortunately, I'm officially announcing that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be becoming a brony. It's just not for me. I do want to become a pony, though, because they were pretty fucking sick. One had a rainbow mane and like a rainbow unicorn spike. So, also, it should be called My Little Unicorn, by the way. I couldn't work out which ones were ponies and which ones were unicorns. So that kind of confused me a lot. I don't know how kids work that shit out. It's supposed to be for kids, and I was fucking confused. And also, the other thing that I brought up during that recording was, I didn't know if they were supposed to be gendered or not. Like, I got a vibe that some of them were dudes and some of them were girls, but they all talk like this, and it's really hard to tell if they're guys or girls, because they just sound like magic ponies. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know what, I don't know, I think they were all non-binary ponies. So, I mean, they'd love the start of this podcast because I didn't offend anyone. So they'd probably all feel included right up until now, where I officially announced that their show sucked. But until then, the non-binary ponies in that show would have felt very included. So I'm glad I made a few ponies feel special today and then crushed their dreams. Sorry to all the bronies. Actually, not sorry to all the bronies who bagged me. You watch a dumb fucking kids show, and I honestly hope, I truly and wholeheartedly hope and pray to God that your parents are disappointed in you. Because seriously, except for the one reasonable guy, good on you, man. I like you. Fuck the rest of yous, alright? Luke out. Peace. I was going to drop my microphone, but it's really expensive and I can't afford to buy a new one. So, that was me watching My Little Pony. What's up next? I swear I had more shit to talk about. Man, I got so much shit to talk about. I'm going to have to get some of this next week. This one I should talk about because I've been meaning to talk about it for a while. Sorry, just getting a drink. I wanted to talk about all the all the actors, and it's in particularly Kevin Spacey, just like all the actors being accused for like assault, and how Hollywood's just like a big old rape dungeon. Like it's just guys molesting kids and girls molesting. Okay, haven't heard many stories of many girls. Just guys molesting people, which is fucking horrible, and there's nothing funny about that. But with that being said, I was thinking during the week that in high school I actually watched a Kevin Spacey film, right? It was called American Beauty. I don't know if you've seen it, but there is a scene where he's hitting on a schoolgirl, right? She's a minor. He approaches her in the bath. It's one of his daughter's friends from high school. She's definitely a minor. He approaches her in the bath and he wants to have sex with her, right? And that's the scene. It's quite a confronting scene in the film, and you know, all these people were like, oh my god, what an amazing performance, incredible acting from Kevin Spacey. Now, I think he might even got nominated for an Oscar in it, but they're like, oh my god, just incredible acting. He wasn't acting. Like, he wasn't fucking acting. He was just hitting on a schoolgirl. That's all that was. And people were like, oh, bravo. I mean, to even pretend to be a sexual predator on the big screen, the acting chops you must have. No, you've just got to be a creep. Just got to be Kevin Spacey. That's it. That's all you have to do. And that's exactly what it did. And I'm not saying like, okay, so that was a little funny observation that I was like, oh, because that was fake in a movie. But what he actually did in real life, there was heaps of people came out. If you haven't heard that he, you know, there was multiple instances of like sexual misconduct to a 14-year-old boy, I believe, like years ago. These are all in like the 80s, 90s, and lots of other dudes. He's pretty much just been trying to jack off dudes in Hollywood for like 3 decades, and finally everyone came out, and I just thought, like, you know, it's horrible, man. Like, these poor guy, like, when he was 14, and it sucks, man. It must be like so confronting, the fact that you actually wait 20 years to come out. I mean, it's just because, like, he's literally a straight white dude in a huge position of power. Like, he's one of the biggest Hollywood stars. And it'd be ballsy to come out and be like, hey, this guy molested me when I was 14, in the fear that no one would believe you. And I totally get why it takes people, took the ladies who Bill Cosby abused and stuff, to come out. And also, during the week, this one was quite shocking to me. And I don't know if I think it's based on a bit of fact, but I don't know. I saw Louis C.K., one of my favorite comedians. Well, comedically, an excellent performer, great writer, a great comedian, but apparently it came out that he was jacking off in front of unconsenting females, which is horrible, but it's still better than jacking off to My Little Pony. So, but yeah, I was just thinking about all these, like, you know, it always comes out that these pop stars and Hollywood stars and stuff are just creepy motherfuckers, and man, Kevin Spacey lost his Netflix show. Like, so he's no longer in. Was his show House of Cards? I don't know what it's called. But he was going to be in this like new Netflix show or film or something, and he completely lost that out. But he is, though, coming out with his new Netflix hit show called Kevin is the New Rolf. It's a great film where he just pretty much takes the reins from old Rolfie Harris, takes the wobble board, and continues to disgrace himself in the public eye. So looking forward to that new Netflix hit show. That was a banger joke, by the way, because like, if you didn't get it, there was a popular Netflix show called Orange is the New Black, and off the cuff and very humorously said, Kevin is the new Rolf. And you know what? I'm just going to pat myself on the back for that one. I'm just going to give myself a quick... I mean, that's what I'm best at, being a white guy. I love patting myself on the back for doing nothing, really. I mean, I'll pat myself on the back for anything these days. Like, during the week, what did I do? I mean, I went to the races. Like, I paid money to go to the horse races. I went to Oaks Day, not Melbourne Cup. That's 2 days after on the Thursday. I went with a few friends, and yeah, I was that day home. Like, I came home and I had a few beers, put on a few bets, lost some money, and I got home that night, and I was like, what a productive day, mate. Well done. You absolutely smashed it out there today. Didn't do fucking anything. But, I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to pat myself on the back because that's what I do best. So, and also, by the way, I Lewis came with me to the races, and then on our Snapchats, it became an in-joke during the day. I just want to clarify, it became an in-joke during the day that I had a gambling problem, and I think I led on, I made out that I lost more money than I did. I don't have a gambling problem. I bet probably once a year, and it's always when I'm at the actual races, like only when I'm watching the horses run. I don't just sit at home on my couch and just bet. I mean, I totally understand how people fall into it, because every day I'm like, oh, like, you know, obviously I come down on bottom because I bet on every single race. I won 3 races in a row, right? I won 3 races in a row on the weekend, and I still managed to lose money. Like that, because what I said last year when I was talking about the races, I can't help myself to put on money on horses with funny names. It's just funny. So me and Lewis put $50 on a horse called Lucky Louie for the radio show. It was paying $81. It was like the second worst odds, and it came second last, and we lost $50 because it was funny. So that's like the saddest shit. Just, you know how bad it was? I'd be like, hey, just $50 on Lucky Louie, and the guy was just like, fucking really? It's like, you want me to take your money? And I was like, yep. And he just took my money, and it never came back. And that's the point I was trying to make, was I totally get how people fall in to hardcore gambling, because I was like, oh, I could just win it back if I just put it on another one. I just kept doing it. And obviously that's fun when you're there, and I was only putting on like, you know, $10, $15, $20 a race or whatever. It wasn't hectic money. And I think I almost came out even anyway, because I did have a few wins, luckily. I would have come out way under if I hadn't have been a bit lucky. But I mean, that's how gambling works. That's how all gambling works. If you're not lucky, you're fucked. And you got to sell your couch and sell your kids, because, you know, the Dapto dogs is more important than a family home to some people. So, yeah, but yeah, the point I was trying to make is, like, I totally get how people fall into it. So, like, I was on the way home, right, and I still had the TAB app on my phone, and I was just scouring through, like, the other races in, like, Pakenham and Sydney and, you know, Adelaide and stuff, and I was like, oh, next jump's in 2 minutes. This one looks like good odds. And I was honestly about to throw money on more horses, and I was like, wait, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I was about to bet on, like, a greyhound in Ballarat that I've never met and nor have any association with, and I just deleted the TAB app immediately, because that's totally how people fall into it. And it was scary. I scared the shit out of myself. I was like, I was about to back a fucking greyhound. I've never watched greyhounds. I've never watched harness racing. You know what the saddest shit is? Virtual greyhounds. You see those dudes at the pub betting on computer-generated dogs. Like, that's proper white shit. That's about as privileged as you can get, really, if you've got that amount of money. I mean, most people who do bet on the virtual dogs don't have the money, and that's why they do it. But anyway, speaking of white people, let's do our everyone's new favourite segment, White Thoughts. Now, during the week, a banger meme was posted by... I'm going to have to look it up. It was posted from Caitlin in the Facebook group. She posted a meme that was like me on Rihanna's head. So if you know the song Wild Thoughts by Rihanna, and then she changed the lyrics underneath, instead of wild, wild, wild thoughts, it was white, white, white thoughts. Very well done. So already the segment's taking off, because people are making bang on memes about it. Now, the reason why I brought that up is I have since gone and made an opener for the segment, and I cannot claim this as my own idea. I will admit I added a little bit of flair, a little bit of spice to the idea, but pretty much the parodying Rihanna's Wild Thoughts was not my idea. It was Caitlin, so thank you to Caitlin, and here is the new intro to the brand new segment, White Thoughts. Yo, DJ Khaled, another one. White, white, white. White, white, white thoughts. White, white, white. I look like a Jew, all I get is white thoughts. White, white, white. All I do is eat sushi on a fork. That is right, White Thoughts. Oh my god, as you can tell, I was born to be a singer. Just naturally gifted. So this is a segment, if you didn't hear it last week, where I pretty much worked out that I have thoughts all the time during the week that I know people of other races, ethnicities, and cultures wouldn't have, because they're not that stuck up. Like, they're not that no one's fucking rude enough and selfish enough to have these thoughts. So, yeah, pretty much like, these are the thoughts that you'd only hear from someone who is overtly patriotic, drives a pickup truck, and watches Sons of Anarchy, like, on a regular basis. Like, tunes in when it's on TV and watches the ads. Like, it's like that. It's a thoughts that kind of guy would have. And I totally realized that, like, I'm very young now. I'm only 21, but I'm definitely becoming that guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm becoming the guy who has a pickup truck. Like, you know those guys who are like, I like sport, but soccer and basketball and netball is for fags. Like, I'm becoming that guy. Not that I'm homophobic. I'm just like, it's fucking gay, mate. But I don't mean in that. I'm just like, it's something within me just wants to, like, kick any fucking dude who plays that sport. And I don't know. I'm just becoming that guy. And, you know, actually, now it makes it sound like this segment is just like bigoted thoughts I have during the week. It's not that at all. It's literally just things that white people think about. So this was my thought during the week. I had two. I don't know whether to share both with you. I might save one. Okay, no, I had two thoughts. Okay, firstly, I only had this thought because I remembered a time when I did this, and I was like, why did you like do that? Only white people do that shit. Like, why the fuck do white people feel the need to take home the mini shampoo bottles from hotel rooms? I see it all the time. My parents do it. Like, occasionally they'll be like, oh, free shampoo. And it's like, it doesn't cost much to buy. You buy shampoo in bulk. Like, you know, in a bigger thing. Like, you don't buy in the little tiny, who buys in the tiny bottles? And I just, like, whenever, like, I stayed at a hotel in New Zealand, and I didn't take it home because I stopped myself. But in the shower, I was like, oh, free shampoo. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? It's just complimentary shampoo. Why does that excite me? Like, there's something in me where I see a little conditioner bottle, I'm like, oh, that's cute. Like, that's the whitest shit ever. So that is the first white thought for the week. Why do white people do that? And these white thoughts don't have answers. They're just statements. They're just what I think about. And the second white thought I had is, what's mayonnaise made out of? Like, what is it? Is it its own element? Like, it's not water, it's not tomato sauce. Is it on the periodic table? Like, can you even make mayonnaise, like homemade mayonnaise? I bet you can, and I sound like an idiot right now, but I've only ever seen mayonnaise in its final form. Like, I've only ever seen evolved level 100 maxed out, like, fully trained mayonnaise in its final form. Like, I don't know, what okay, I should just Google it. This one I do want to know. What is what is mayonnaise made of? It is, what? Mayonnaise is made by combining lemon juice or vinegar with egg yolks. It doesn't taste anything like lemon or egg or vinegar. Oh man, I don't want to eat mayonnaise anymore. This is disgusting. Oh man, imagine mayonnaise and milk. Oh, mayonnaise and jelly. There it is. Boom. That is officially, with a crown sticking in the middle. That is officially the grossest thing I've ever seen. And then while you eat it, you have to watch the first episode, Friendship is Magic, of My Little Pony, while watching Pauline Hanson birth Tony Abbott. That is officially the worst thing you can ever do. That's just the worst. Like, that's as shit as life could get. Like, there's life, there's planet Earth, and there's horrible things have happened, but that is officially the worst thing. So yeah, mayonnaise sucks. Now I know how mayonnaise is made. I don't even want it. Now I'm gonna have to change my Subway order. This is a whole thing. This has just actually ruined my week now. Mayonnaise is an emulsion, which is a mixture of two liquids that normally can't be combined. Yeah, no shit, because you shouldn't combine vinegar and egg yolk. Combining oil and water is the classic example. Yeah, but what's this? The two... What does it say? Eggs and gelatin are among the foods that contain... Yeah, so it's... The emulsor is egg yolk and vinegar. That's disgusting. Fucking hell. Yuck. Mayonnaise. Anyway, I'm glad we all know. Look at this. I swear to God, I'm teaching people every week now in this podcast. This podcast has become very educational of late. You guys are welcome. I had a few more things I want to talk about before we wrap up. Okay, I'll quickly talk about this. This is just like, I'm not going to be able to do questions this week. I'll do questions next week. So last night I went to this local fair in the area that I live in, right? And like Emily wanted to go, my girlfriend, and you know, that's cool, and I was happy to go, and you know, had a few drinks before, and it ended up being a good night. But local fair, like these type of fairs / fates, just not my thing at all. Like, just I usually try and avoid them, but I was like, oh, you know, I'm going with a group of people, can't be the dude who's like, no, fuck fireworks. And then as soon as I got there, 9 p.m. started and the fireworks started, I was like, no, fuck fireworks. So I did it anyway. But I don't know, fireworks suck. And I know I've talked about fireworks before on the podcast. I think it was real early on. But honestly, I haven't seen fireworks since, and I just forgot how shit they were. Like, they go for too long, they're really expensive, and it's the perfect time for a sniper attack. Like, if you were a gunman in a nearby building, boom, local fates on this weekend, wait till then, there's literally white people fucking everywhere, just crowding around watching it. There's they make a gunshot noise, and then I got real scared, right? So the first one went off, and I was like, oh, no, I'm going to get shot. But I was like, oh, no, I'm not in Las Vegas. It's going to be fine. And then, and then they started letting them off, like, bang, 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 like a machine gun. And I was just like, man, how is no one ducking? Like, that's the most Australian shit ever. People can literally hear machine gun sounding noise and be like, whoa, cool, that one was red. Like, in America, even if it was a firework, you'd just duck. You'd have to. It'd be stupid not to duck. But yeah, so fireworks are just unsafe. Not because, like, the firework could hurt you, because it'd be the best time to kill someone from a rooftop with a gun. So that's all I could think about. And they went for like 10 minutes. Like, they lost me so hard in the middle. Like, I was like, at the start, I was like, oh, that was a big one. That was cool. Still going. Cool. And then fireworks should be 3 minutes max, because it's just the same shit over and over. And then I kept thinking it was ending, because, you know, they, at the end of every fireworks display or fireworks show or what a shit waste of time, whatever you want to call it, they always try and do the big crescendo, like the big finale at the end, where they shoot up fucking millions and the whole bloody sky is a firework, right? One probably hits the sun and a meteor rains down, and that's the big finale. So I kept on looking out for the big finale, and I thought at one point, it was about 6 minutes in, I was like, oh, thank God. These fireworks have been going for fucking ages. And a bunch went off, and it was like, pooh, and everyone clapped, right? People started clapping, thinking, oh, that was great, that's the end, we're all done here, let's go home. No, people just kept going. Like they waited 2 seconds, the sky was completely black, and you hear, pew, 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 and they'll just start firing up again. I'm like, you finished it. You did the grand finale. Why the fuck you still going? Alright? I didn't pay for this. Well, I did in my taxes, because I paid tax for the first time this year. And I was like, that's another thing. Now that I've paid tax, it makes me angry when I see a waste of... I'm like an old guy. I'm generally becoming the pickup truck guy. Like, I'm just like watching Sons of Anarchy going, this is good TV, but fucking the government, mate. Like, honestly, every time a firework went off, I just got so pissed that they were spending money on it. Like, it was like, bang! And I was like, great, there's a pothole down the road. They could have fucking fixed that. And then bang, again, like, there's another $100. I was like, great, there's an animal shelter down the road that's severely underfunded. Fucking bang, 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 200, 300, 400. I was just counting the dollar amount that they spent on fireworks, and I was just getting angrier and angrier. So yeah, fuck fireworks. They shouldn't go for more than 3 minutes, tops. And the other thing that I saw at the local fair was they had this kids ride, right? It was a Titanic kids ride. So it was it was a sinking boat that said Titanic up the top. You may have seen it on my Snapchat story, but if you didn't, it had the 3 big, like steam, I don't know what they're called, bloody funnels. What's it called? Exhaust. There's whatever the boat version of that is that puts out the steam. It was going into the ground, so it was like the Titanic was sinking, and it was a kid slide, and I was like, awesome, so fun. 1,500 people died. You know, like in 1912, that killed over 1,000 people, and now it's a kids ride. And there's got to be like an ancestor of someone who's like, oh, I lost my granddad on that, and now my firstborn son is sliding down. And there's a kid dressed up as a tiger munting at the bottom. Great. What a tribute. So what a tribute to all those lives. Thank you. Thank you. Whoever thought of that genius one, bravo. Well done, mate. Like, what's next? In 100 years, there's going to be a 9/11 ride. Like, Like, I don't know what you do. You go down on a little plane and you crumble with the building. Like, what? 3,000 people died. Like, that's a fun. It's happened 100 years ago. No, that's fucked up. Like, what? There's going to be a Dreamworld ride that commemorates the ride at Dreamworld. Like, like you get. Oh, okay, that's fucking horrible. Like, and like you're gonna go to like. I mean, I bet you, like, they already have one. That's like, welcome to the Auschwitz simulator. Keep your hands and feet in the light, and if you're Jewish, fucking run to Switzerland and don't look back. Like, that, that's a, like, I mean, we're doing Titanic rides. What's the difference? Just more people died. Still a tragedy. Still fucking horrible. So yeah, I just thought that was messed up. That there was a ride that commemorated the death of 1,500 people. And yeah, it was like 105 years ago. The people still died, still a kid's ride. So, that was really all I wanted to rant about this week. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my anger. Actually, it's more frustration, because that's what this podcast is all about. It's just a white guy giving his thoughts on the world that nobody asked for. Just unconsensually. Kevin, I'm just literally like, I'm Kevin Spacey, but with thoughts. Actually, and also, I forgot to mention this earlier. The other fucked up thing about the Kevin Spacey thing was that he, like, all these accusations were being, sorry to go back to this, I know it's depressing, but all these accusations were being thrown around at him, like, oh, all this sexual misconduct and all this inappropriate behavior that's been happening for years. And he's like, all right, and he just came out as gay. Like, that was his excuse. He's like, oh, but I'm gay. It's like, yeah, dude, the kid was 14. No one was like, hey, man, are you gay? What the fuck? Like, no one was coming out, and it's like literally the worst time to come out. Like, there usually isn't such thing if you are homosexual and you still haven't come out yet. There is never a bad time to come out as a gay person, except if you're being accused as a child molester. That is the only, that's just stay shut. You may announce it a week later, okay? Or don't announce it while that's occurring to you, okay? That was the worst time to come out, and he totally just did it. He came out as gay just to be a distraction. It's like, dude, you molested a 14-year-old. Like, nobody's like, oh, but that's fine, because now he likes Eliza Minnelli and rainbows, so that makes it all okay. No. Who cares if you're gay? Good on you that you're gay. Great. No one cares, though. It's just your sexuality. Like, you at the end of the day, Kevin, the court isn't going to punish you for being a homosexual unless you move to Australia, because that's what we like to do here. So other than that, then you will be definitely charged as a sexual predator and not a homosexual. So yeah, just don't move to Australia and you should be fine, because shit's pretty fucked here, mate. Anyway, that is all I have time for. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. If you liked it, rate it on iTunes, tell a friend. I'll be back next week. I won't be eating any cereal with Twisties during the week, and I damn well won't be watching episode 2 of Friendship is Magic. I'm done with that. But thank you for the recommendation from that one dude. Have a good one.